Testing drugstore makeup. I could speak. Airbrush. I have a hair somewhere. Where is it? Rich translucent. Hello beautiful people. Today I'm gonna be doing a dupes video. I'm so excited because I've actually been giving this so much thought. You have no idea how many times I've tried a product and thought, oh my god, that's a good dupe, or I know a good dupe for that. And I've just been testing a bunch of makeup to try to create this video. I worked really hard on this, so hopefully you guys enjoy it because oh my gosh, who doesn't love to save some money? And the drugstore is killing it, let me tell you. Okay, so we're gonna be testing out the drugstore side versus the high-end side, and we're gonna see which one wins at the end of the day because I'm gonna do a wear test and everything to see how everything wore to make sure it's actually comparable. So I have a full face of dupes for you, but if you're new here, hi, I love color. If you enjoy that, then please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for videos 3 times a week. And yeah, let's get into this video. For brows, I'm so excited because I finally found a dupe for the Glossier Brow Flick. I have this one here in the shade black, but I also have the NYX. This is the Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. I do think that they are pretty close dupes. In fact, the NYX pen actually has a thinner like applicator. They're like exactly the same, right? They're even the same shade. I'm gonna do drugstore on my right side. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the hair like strokes. These are perfect for hair like strokes. The only thing is the lasting power. I haven't compared them, so this is why I'm doing this video. Let's see how long this brow lasts in comparison to the Glossier brow, you know? This applicator is like even thinner than the Glossier one. It gives more precise hair strokes. I love it for the fluffy brow. This is brow number 1, done with the NYX Lift and Snatch. Now I'm going to use the Glossier. I love them both, to be honest. So it really is just going to come down to what you want to spend your money on. Like, if you want to save a buck, definitely go for the NYX. Both brows are done, so we're gonna move on to brow gel. I actually have also a dupe for the boy brow from Glossier, the e.l.f. Wow Brow. So very similar concept. I said this in my drugstore testing drugstore makeup. I could speak. Let's check out their applicators. Yeah, they're very similar. As you can see, I do have one in the shade brown, dark brown, and the other one's clear. So unfortunately, that's gonna be the difference. It's gonna make a difference in my brows today, but it's okay. We're gonna go ahead and use the e.l.f. The e.l.f. one also has like some sort of like fibers in there. I don't think my camera's gonna pick it up. I also tried to show this in my drugstore makeup, but it has like some sort of fibers in there. I think that really does help like create more, like fill in the gaps, I guess, while keeping it in place. I have been using this lately and I do like it, but I do have to say I prefer the boy brow because it doesn't add any more pigment to my brows. I wanted a clear one, but I didn't see that the Wow Brow offered a clear version. I could be wrong, but I just kind of like to comb them through. It's really to set them in place, not to add more pigment. So I prefer the way this looks over the Wow Brow, but they're both really good. I found a dupe for the Mini Love, and I'm sure you guys know what it is because it's like super overhyped, and the e.l.f. Bite Size palette. This one is Berry Bad, and this is the one that I think is quite a dupe for the Mini Love palette. It's not an exact dupe, obviously, because there are 5 shades in the Mini Love palette, and there are only 4 shades in the e.l.f. palette. So which side is drugstore again? I always do this to myself. This side is drugstore, so like this. They're quite similar, and honestly, you cannot beat this. $3 versus $27, I think. This side we have e.l.f. and on this side we have Natasha Denona. As you can see, there are shades that are quite different. Like, it's gonna happen. It's not gonna be exactly. We're gonna start off with the drugstore side. I'm gonna take this shade right here. Oh, it has a lot of fallout. I have used this before, but I don't really remember. I'm gonna create like a really basic, like a not so intricate look just to, you know, compare and see. But I do love the formula of these bite-sized shadow palettes. Like, I think they are seriously a great, like, you can get all of them, the entire collection of all these $3 little palettes. Now I'm gonna take this deeper shade over here and just deepen the outer corner and the crease. Next, I'm gonna take this shade over here. It's like a beautiful rose gold. Honestly, you cannot beat this quality. Look at that. No setting spray, no nothing. It's just really great, intense pigmentation. I love it. And then I'm gonna take this shade over here. I feel like this is the exact look I created when I first used this palette. Let's quickly do the other side. I'm gonna speed this up so it doesn't take forever, but I did clean out all of my brushes that I use on this side, so if you use the exact same brushes that I use. Obviously, after using these side by side, they're not exactly the same. And I do have to say, I prefer the matte and the Natasha Denona over the e.l.f. Where's the palette? Oh, right here. But the shimmers in this are like so much better. I don't know if you guys can even see, and you probably saw it in the application. Like, honestly, it's so... This, you can't beat this for the price. Obviously, not exactly the same, but... You know, we're gonna go with it. Okay, we're gonna move on to the face. I do have a dupe for the Touch of the Silk Canvas, and that is the Hard Candy Smoothing Primer Balm. We're gonna go ahead and put it to the test today. We're gonna see if it actually works. This half of the face with the Hard Candy, like, you could already see the smoothing. Ignore the redness because I'm just naturally red. This is the Touch of the Silk Canvas. Here we go. I actually prefer the scent. Like, there's a scent in this, and there's not a scent in the Hard Candy one. At least not that I can smell. And not strong enough that it bothers me. Smoothed out. Love it. I have a dupe for the Pat McGrath Sublime Perfection Foundation. You know, when I first bought this, I actually really hated it. I did not enjoy it at all. I was like, why did I spend my money on this? I still don't think it's worth the money, to be honest. I may not even repurchase it. It is really nice. It looks really luxurious on the skin. The ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation does almost the exact same thing at a fraction of the cost. We're going to start off with the ColourPop. I'll use the Love is the Foundation brush, but look at how amazing this is. Like, one single swipe just covers so much. The Pat McGrath is a little light on me, while the ColourPop is also a little dark on me. So it is what it is. I don't remember if I like using this with a sponge or not. I really don't remember. But this one has a scent that kind of bothers me. Ugh. Besides the shade match, I mean, they're really, really similar. Like, they both give a really nice dewy finish, which is my favorite. It's also like medium to full coverage. I would say it's buildable. I prefer like a more medium coverage lately. I don't want like something super heavy. Both give the exact finish I like. And honestly, ColourPop is my holy grail. So I have a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. Now this is my holy grail concealer. Like, this is dead. Like, I need to buy a new one. There's barely anything left in here. But the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer is very, very similar. The applicators are almost identical. So let's go ahead and apply the CoverGirl to the drugstore side. It is a slightly more yellow tone than the Tarte one. I don't know. I think this is like more of a pink undertone. And I'm going to take my Juno & Co. sponge. I'm obsessed with both of these concealers, to be honest, but Tarte has like a special place in my heart, alright? The coverage is very similar. I would even say the CoverGirl is a little bit more creaseless, but I don't know, for some reason I just enjoy the Tarte so much that I can't get over it. Like, it's my favorite. But the CoverGirl I love using as an eyeshadow base as well. Like, I'll mix it with my P. Louise base and it looks really, really good. So I think I found the dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Finish Setting Powder. The number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder. I got them both in the shade Light. As you can see, I love this one. Like, I'll show you the pan, the major pan. I'm scared if I drop this, it's gonna die. Like, it's gonna shatter everywhere. I need to buy it back up. But this, I ran to the store today to buy. Honestly, it's really hard to find. I had to go to like 5 different Targets, and they're very similar in shade, so that's cool. And I've heard that this is a dupe for it, so we're gonna test it out. This is the one thing I can't tell you for sure because I haven't tried it myself, but we're gonna see. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the number 7 powder on the drugstore side first. Wow, everything looks so flawless. We're gonna go ahead and use this one on this side. This powder will make any concealer look good. I'm telling you, it is seriously worth the money, but it's so expensive. Again, I'll have the prices on the screen when I have a hair somewhere. Where is it? Seriously, so flawless. I love this. I'm gonna do my lower lash line real quick of both eyes. Okay, moving on to bronzer. I have a dupe for, this is a bronzer I don't hear a lot of people talk about, but whatever. This is the Buxom Staycation Vibes Primer Infused Bronzer. I really like this bronzer a whole lot, and I think almost an exact dupe is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzing Powder. They're not exact dupes like color-wise, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this one first. I have been really liking this one. It does seem a little light for my skin tone, and I'm pretty fair, so I do have to go in a few times and build it up, but other than that, I really like it. Like, It's a great affordable bronzer. You know, something I did forget that I wanted to test this out. Let's hope it looks okay over top the powder, because I only put a little bit of powder here. I have the Milani. This is the Cheek Kiss Cream Blush in the shade Nude Kiss. And then this is the Fenty Cream Blush in the shade Summertime Wine. I haven't used this in such a long time. They're very similar colors. I'm gonna put the Milani one on first. The Milani one is pretty pigmented, let me tell you. It actually does not do bad over top powder. Hopefully we keep this trend going, right? I did really enjoy it the few times I did use it. I just haven't used it in a while for whatever reason. They do look like similar colors. Shoot, these are pretty. All right, back to the bronzer. I can't believe I did that. We're gonna make this work, all right? I just wanna contour a little bit. All right, and the Buxom side, like I said, this one's a little bit more pigmented, so it's darker, so I have to be careful. I definitely prefer the tone of this one. Like it's like kind of more neutral. It's not so like cool tone, but either way, I think they're very nice dupes for each other. All right, we're gonna clean up our contour now. I found a dupe. Well, I think this is a dupe for the Fenty loose setting powder. This is literally my favorite setting powder of all time. I have the shade Butter though, so it's not the translucent. This is the Coty Airspun loose setting powder. Seriously, a fraction of the cost. Like such an affordable, great quality, amazing loose setting powder. This is the translucent extra coverage. Translucent extra coverage. I don't know what that means, but I mean, it gives extra coverage, I'm assuming. The only thing about this is you have to be very careful. It's very messy. There's a lot of product in here too though, so that's really cool. But we're gonna go ahead and just clean up our contour. I do prefer the tone of this one. I don't know, even though it's so yellow and I'm not really that yellow. Okay, so I do have a couple of powder blushes to talk about. I have a dupe for the Benefit Dandelion. This is a beautiful like pinky toned blush, but the Essence the blush, literally like $3 I think, or $2 even. This is the shade Befitting, literally super similar. So this is the shade Befitting. It is a little bit more, it's darker I feel like than the Dandelion blush, which is very hard to swatch with my nails. So it's just a little bit of a difference in shade, but the formula looks really similar. I accidentally dunked into Dandelion, so we're gonna put this on this side first. As you can see, it's just a really nice little pink. And then we've got this one. This one's like really pink. Honestly, why would I go out and buy a $20-something blush, I think is what it costs, when this one's $2-3? Honestly, such a bargain. Look at how pigmented it is. We gotta just test the longevity, that's all. Cool, I'm gonna move on to setting spray because this is gonna be hard to do though. I just realized I'm not to like, I always put on setting spray before I go in with highlighter. That's just the way I roll. So a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Literally my holy grail. I love this stuff. This literally will not move your makeup. It's so amazing. I really love the Milani. This is the Make It Last Setting Spray. This is the Dragon Fruit scent, the Dragon Fruit Peach scent, but I prefer the original. I mean, either way they're really good, but I just prefer the original. The formula is the same though, but I don't have the original to show you guys. So all right, let's see how I can do this. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna do this side. It smells really good. All right, so for highlighter, Benefit Cookie, literally one of my favorite highlighters of all time. Such a gorgeous shade right here. But we have ColourPop. This is the ColourPop Flexitarian Super Shock Shadow. This is obviously a Super Shock, not shadow, highlighter. This is obviously a Super Shock, so it's a little bit like, it's more cushiony, like if that makes sense. But they are very similar in formula and even in color. So I'm gonna swatch them real quick. It definitely feels like more wet, I guess. This is the ColourPop, and let's try swatching the Benefit. To stick my knuckle in there. But they're very similar. Benefit might be a little darker and that's it, but very similar even in like texture, consistency, all that. So I'm gonna use this side for ColourPop. And you really, like with this one, like unless you want it to be super bam in your face, you have to take your time and blend it. Like honestly, it'll look like a streak on your face if you don't. But I love it. It's literally one of my go-tos and it's so affordable. I'm gonna use the other side of the brush for the Benefit. I haven't used this one in so long. As you can see, like they're so similar. I don't know. This one might be a little bit more smooth, less streaky, like it blends a little easier, obviously because it's not the Super Shock formula, but I love them both regardless. They're so good. Can't live without my nose highlight, so I'm just taking whatever's left of whichever one, all right? And we're also gonna take them on the inner corner of the eye. See, I didn't cheat and I didn't use that fish shade from the Natasha Denona palette. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna take this side for ColourPop and flip the brush over for Benefit. So my holy grail mascara of all, like my favorite one of all time, is the Benefit Bad Gal Bang. This one's dead. I think I gotta open a new one. I have a backup, thankfully, because Benefit's so kind and they send me backups every so often. But I have a dupe for you. This is the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. Let's take out the wands and I'll show you guys. They're both plastic applicators. They both look almost identical and they both, I feel like, do the same thing. So we're gonna start off with the Maybelline. And I'm not gonna even wear falsies today so you can actually see my lashes and how they're doing. I should have curled my lashes. Real quick. Isn't that crazy that a drugstore mascara can do that? Honestly. Another dupe for this, by the way, is the Essence Lash Princess, which I also really love. But these have more similar, like the Essence Lash Princess doesn't really have a plastic applicator. But this one is so good. Like the plastic applicator, definitely good for lengthening, separating. I found a dupe for Pat McGrath. So this is the Pat McGrath Contour Lip Liner. One of my favorite. As you can see, I have like a little tiny little thing left and I'm so upset because it's $29. That's so expensive for lip liner. This is so much more affordable. This is the ColourPop Lippy Pens. I have a whole vault of these because these are great. They're $5. They're like creamy. They're very, very similar to the Pat McGrath. I would say they're a little more creamy and sometimes I don't necessarily love that, but these are exact dupes for one another. I legit went and swatched like all of my ColourPop like nude lip liners and there's not like an exact dupe, but we're gonna go with it. So this is the Pat McGrath and then this is BFF3. So they're just, BFF3 is just a little bit darker, but we're gonna go with it, all right? We're actually gonna fill them in too. This is the only lip gloss I could find like that I had a dupe, a higher end dupe for. So this is the ColourPop Glacier Luxe Gloss. This one has a little bit more a different sparkle than the one I'm going to talk about, which is Fenty. This is the Fenty Beauty Diamond Milk. So obviously quite different undertones, but very, very similar formulas. I do prefer the Fenty a lot more. I'm not even going to lie. It's like not as sticky, which is, you might be thinking is not a bad thing. I don't know, it just doesn't feel as like creamy. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, they're both good. This is definitely a lot more pigmented. It's just a different undertone, but you know, I look crazy. So while the colors may not be exact dupes on the eyeshadow and the lips and a lot of things, formulas are very, like the formula is what's important to me. Why waste your money on a higher end formula when you can get one at the drugstore, you know? This is the high end side, right? What are we thinking? What are we looking like? I think we look really good, but is it worth this money? That's all I'm gonna say. I'll have the total cost of this side of my face up on the screen. And then we have the drugstore side. Man, that ColourPop foundation just like literally holy grail. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? It is 6 o'clock. I will be back as late as possible to show you how this wore. I'm watching The 100 as I was like getting ready to film this last part. And you know, like in season 4, where are we? Where they're doing the conclave. Oh my god, I forgot what happens. This is my second time watching the show, but I didn't finish the full thing. So I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. I can't believe that, oh my god. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen the show, but definitely watch it. It's such a good show. Do I have something on my teeth? No. It is 10:44. Not so much time has gone by. Both sides look phenomenal. Everything's looking amazing. The blush on this side, I don't know, the drugstore side, you know what I mean? Like, if I can't really find anything to nitpick at either side, then they're both really good. I don't know. I try to like find products that'll save people money, and definitely I think these products are dupes for each other. You definitely need to try the e.l.f. formula if you haven't already, the eyeshadow formula, because honestly, like they're really nice, like really good quality shadows. Though they're not the exact same color, they look really good. Everything on this side looks amazing. Definitely recommend this. Let me know what you guys think. Have you tried any of these products? What are your favorite dupes for high-end products, like drugstore dupes for high-end products? I would love to know. I want to do another one of these like in the future. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. pastes glues your brows in. But let me go ahead and cover the Glossier because like otherwise it's gonna dry out before I even get to my brow. No, I can't take the shame brush. The shame brush. A lot of interruptions happened in the last like hour and a half or so.